Hello everyone, welcome to another video of Vinyl Addict. My name's Chili and today I'm going to give you guys a review on the Soulfly box set that came out. I did an unboxing of this and sat and listened to the collection here and read the liner notes and everything, and I want to give you guys my opinion about it. First of all, these are just the first 4 albums from the collection. So we got Soulfly, Soulfly Primitive, the 3rd album, and Prophecy, and a bonus rarities vinyl, which I'll get into. Now it's really great because some of these have never been released on vinyl. As far as I know, like number 3, which is one of the reasons why I wanted this so bad, was because of the 3rd album is pressed on vinyl. Now they're in, some of them are in 2 vinyl pressings, whereas the 2nd album, Primitive, is just 1 vinyl. But we'll go with the first one here, and it's in a beautiful gatefold with the lyrics inside. Really nothing added to this, it's the complete album, and the thing about this is the booklet, the 35-page booklet, because it really goes into depth, all the details about each album, the concept of the album, recording the album, and the people involved. And there's some cool stories too. He talks about meeting Ozzy, and because how Soulfly started. I mean, he was Sepultura. He's the one who put that band together as a teenager, and they've risen to the thrash metal world with Arise. Beneath the Remains, you have these classic albums. He left on a high note with Roots, and it doesn't really go into the details about why they quit, and the story in here about Ozzy's, he was having dinner at his house, Ozzy's house, with Sharon, and he's just kind of giving him advice maybe to keep the Soulfly, the Sepultura name, but he's just like, he's all about put that to death. This is a new thing, and he talks about how the concept of Soulfly is not a band. It's not like 4 people making album after album. He wanted people coming and going. He wants that revolving door. He wants to interact with different musicians from all over. Now the thing that Soulfly did bring, and Max in particular with Sepultura, is kind of bringing in world music to the metal realm. The tribal drums, the Brazilian heritage, his culture, and not only that, all kinds of music involved. That in these first 4 albums he's incorporated reggae. He started this instrumental piece called Soulfly, and each album has that same title. So if it's the 2nd album, the title is Soulfly 2. On the 3rd album, Soulfly 3. You have 11 albums out, and so there's always that instrumental track, and it's more like a meditation kind of type music, away from the heavier thrashy metal music that's in the albums. It's more like what he was describing as like how in Black Sabbath's Paranoid album they break into Planet Caravan, and just to change the mood up a bit. And so he's kept that tradition throughout his career. They are dropping a new album later on near the end of the year, September, I believe, Totem. So there's Soulfly 12 coming out, and then I believe he'll still have that tradition. So that's one thing that I wanted to kind of talk about is the concept of Soulfly is not a band. And so, you know, he views it as well as like he has a family of like he's part of the metal tribe. And so he brings in people, these guests, like on the first album he had like Fred Durst, Chino from Deftones, and Chino plays a very integral part in the development and bringing of Soulfly as a group or just a concept or you know recording, because after Sepultura, his experience with that band and leaving that band, he didn't want to play music anymore, and Chino pretty much invited him to a session, and you know they for Around the Fur, and got him his creative juices flowing again and excited about making music, and which led to Soulfly, you know. So that's all in this book, you know. And so, like I said, it's a really good read if you want to know the ins and out about this band or this concept, you know. Which brings us to like even on the second album, you know, he brought in Corey Taylor as a guest from Slipknot, Stone Sour, Tom Araya. You know, he's on a track called Terrorist, and because you know they used to tour together, Sepultura and Slayer, and so he's on this record. And Sunsong, it's a pretty cool story there. He met Sean Ono, John and Yoko Ono's son, on a flight from Australia, and they both have this connection as far as both of their fathers, you know, left their life or were you know, taken away from them at an early age. Sean's at 5 and Max at 9, and so they have this song called Sunsong. So that's really cool. So another thing going into the third album, like I said, something fell. These albums, he got the cover artwork. I love this cover artwork, by the way, the Primitive one and this one. These were done by Neville Garrick, who's who did the Bob Marley album covers, and you know, he got this guy to do his album covers, and you can kind of tell. I have these two Marley album covers here, so you can kind of see the resemblance. So here's the Rastaman Vibration cover, you know, in this guy's work here, and Uprising. So, you know, just to give you a little insight on this, you know, Max has been, you know, written about as being the Bob Marley of thrash, you know, because these records are very, in the metal, and considered with metal, it's very positive stuff. You know, usually there's a lot of anger, aggression, and those types of things, but the first 4 albums are pretty much delving in the more positive, spiritual, you know, realm. And I think by the time he was going into Conquer, the 5th album, he was approaching more of a death metal direction, and there was the albums started to get heavier and heavier and more metal, and leaving the kind of world music vibe that he has, but like I said, there's always that Soulfly track, that instrumental track that will be on, you know, his future albums, and still kind of keep that that spirit alive, but it's just been more metal, you know, which is great. I mean, I love his newer stuff. You know, I follow his career, even like his other bands, you know, Cavalera Conspiracy. Then he has the other Kill or Be Killed, which was with Dillinger Escape Plan member and Mastodon member, you know, so he has all these different kind of outfits, and again, he's just sharing, you know, his musical gift and taking in other people from that tribe of metal, which is cool. And now let's go to the bonus vinyl here, which is supposedly rarities and outtakes and whatnot, and that's this Soulfire record. Now, it's not, for me, it's not really rare. A lot of these tracks have been taken from different sources where they've been released in the past. So you have Ain't No Feeble Bastard, which is a Discharge cover from the hardcore punk English band. There's one song here, Chaos, which is like 10 to 15 seconds, and it was just really fast. And I think he just says Chaos, you know, that's it. Under the Sun, the Black Sabbath cover from Volume 4, the classic Black Sabbath song. That is on Nativity in Black 2. There was 2 compilations that were put out before, tributes to Black Sabbath, where a variety of different bands like System of a Down, Megadeth, and you know, Biohazard just kind of contributed and took a Sabbath song and, you know, added it onto this collection. And that's where this is from, Under the Sun, which is a cool version. It's you know, it's cool to have it included here, because he has his own little take on it, you know, and you know, adds that tribal vibe to it. And the other stuff are just mixes, and they're mixes from songs that were released on the first album. So you got Tribe, you know, it's called a Tribe Terrorism mix. You got Terrorist, the Primitive song with Tom Araya, the Total Destruction mix that they call it. These were found on the special edition deluxe CD sets, and so really there's nothing different on here except, I think, his song Soulfire, which is the title of this record here. So other than that, my last thing, my closing thoughts on this is it's the first 4 albums, the classic albums of Soulfly put together, and it's amazing, you know, in itself. So the bonus vinyl thing, that was sort of a letdown, because it's just, you know, stuff that's been out already in different forms. If you're a fan and collector in the CD realm, would have been cool if they put more live material on the bonus or something else. But maybe he'll put out the next 4 albums in a box collection. But I could just say that, you know, this is the classic, the first 4 albums that were, you know, kind of changed the game. And as far as fusing world music and different kinds of genres of music, even hip hop, he kind of threw this in there. And when he, you know, had hip hop artists in here, he didn't, he just let them be who they are, you know, sort of just like Anthrax and Public Enemy when they did the Bring the Noise. And Scott Ian is not trying to rap, he's just spitting out the words that, you know, Chuck D wrote, and he's not trying to sound like a rapper. And he kind of does the same things. It's like, you bring your gift, and if that's what that is, fine. You know, he's gonna, you know, just be Max and just, you know, bring that tribal shit and just fucking bring it hard. But he's not gonna, you know, try to be something he's not, and that's cool. So it still works in the realm of, you know, Soulfly, you know. And so that's what I got to say about this, and I do love this Fine, you know, it's cool. So I highly recommend it if you're a big fan of them, and if you want to get the first floor, then this is the way to do it. All right. Comment below what you think about this. I'll talk to you guys later.